is hot. 10, 9, 8, 7,
that part.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's cracking, Planet Earth? It's your boy Griff, and I have the pleasure of interviewing one of my closest friends on this planet of 7 billion people. About 8 years ago, we formed a writing coalition in South Africa and Johannesburg called the We Fell Off Camp. It consists of Chris Mapani, Umpo Pops, Trevor Goombi, myself, and the first lady of the camp is born and raised in Pretoria, South Africa. She's that Nina Hastie. That's all I'm gonna say. That Nina Hastie. Nina.
Right. What's going on? In fact, I'm going to change my little logo thing at the bottom to my handle so that y'all can follow me while you are looking at this very thing right now. So, hello, Griff. I love you. How are you? How's the family? I see just before we started this interview, you're like, Nina, look who in Dallas with me. And then this face popped out of nowhere. And yes, it's Pastor Fee. So let me tell you a little story. How are you, my darling?
I'm awesome, and you?
I'm so good. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful. Everything that's happening in my life is a result of speaking it into action, of being grateful every day, just saying thank you and knowing that God had my back already. So
yes.
I'm in such a good space. It's amazing.
Let me tell you something. So for the people who don't know, Nina Hastie is in the top 10 funniest comedians in Africa, not females in South Africa. She is a brilliant writer. She has 2 shows on TV that just happen to be on right now. She's been on several shows, but the show she has right now comes on SABC 3 Monday through Friday. It's called Trending SA. She is your new lunchtime companion. And then on Fridays, she's on MTV Base and MTV with MTV Newsish. So that's like kind of news or not news.
It's kind of news. It's news-ish, you know. So I do a lot of the inserts due to the fact that there was like a double booking that I do a panel show on SABC 3. I actually started off on MTV Newsish. That is also a panel show, but I got scouted by a bigger network. So you know, that it was a very sad day for me, but what we did, we managed to come to an agreement where I got to do the inserts. So I get to do like the artist interviews, and I do like comical sketches and stuff. Sometimes I just go and cause havoc. Like last week, it was the National Art Fair. So I went into the art fair and I pretended like I didn't know anything about art, and I just annoyed all these snobby art people.
Yes.
You know, like just then sometimes I do parody songs or just spoof songs. I do some crazy things, but it's lovely. It's delicious. I'm actually on my way now. Why you only have me for 3 minutes is because it's the MTV Africa Music Awards nominees announcement tonight, and I'm going to be shooting from there. So that's going to be fun.
Let me tell you something. Our 3 minutes with you is wonderful. I want to stop sounding like a radio dude because now I'm on a nationally syndicated radio show in America with Erica Campbell, and this is just kind of habit. But with my heart, Nina and I have, for the people that's listening, what you're looking at is a survivor in Nina Hastie. You're looking at a female who did not want the double standards that men were getting. You're looking at one of a handful of brilliant creatives from a country that until a little recently didn't know how big the comedy game was on the continent. You will see her in New York, you will see her in LA, you will see her in Dallas, and all major cities. She's a phenomenon. Nina, I just want to tell you, as your big brother, your mentor, I couldn't be more proud of you. We've had
hours and
months.
Hours and months and years of conversation. Like,
and
if you
to
were to
see you in this space,
all of those conversations, it would be like a disc set. You know what I mean?
Right. But to see you in this space, just looking at your Snapchats and your Instagram and just watching the space that you're in, I know that you're just an example to another woman and another man that just really wanted it. It wasn't that you wanted fame. You was cool on being Nina Hastie. You've always known who you were, but you wanted this peace and happiness that you have right now. And with this peace and happiness, it comes with money. It comes with more fame. It comes with more gigs. It comes with, but tell our viewers real quick, how did you reach that? And where did you say, okay, I got to change?
So, I mean, the fact that so Nick Wilson, who is the project genius that has put all of us together, he's on the other side of this line. You guys can't see him, but he's the creator of My Child TV, which is the animated series that we started developing about 6-7 years ago. God, it's such a long time ago.
7 at least.
Yeah. So, and there was a stage where I had to go and stay with Nick because my boyfriend was beating me up so badly. I don't even know if Nick still has those photographs. I could use them for the book, Nick. I could use them for the book. I struggled with drugs and alcohol. I struggled with abusive relationships. I struggled with being a victim of sexual violence on numerous occasions. And I didn't want that life for myself anymore. And I hit rock bottom, and it wasn't enough. And I hit rock bottom again. And God saved me. You know, He wanted me to go through all of that, clearly, so that I could go through it, understand it, and come out stronger. Because had I not gone through all of that, I wouldn't have known who I was. I wouldn't have appreciated who I really am. And everything that I do now is charged with so much love, with so much gratitude, with so much understanding, with so much intention of understand where this person is coming from, understand where that statement is coming from, understand where that political motive is coming from. People are like, oh, Nina, are you trying to champion Black consciousness? No, I'm not trying to champion Black consciousness. I'm trying to champion white consciousness in a space where it needs to acknowledge Black consciousness.
I know that's right. Come on, Nina.
So I'm in a space. I did a little cameo in a movie called The People versus the Rainbow Nation. I'm in lots of conversations with regards to race, gender, patriarchy, sexism, all of this kind of all these kinds of systemic problems that I use my crafts to try and dissipate. You know, so I'm trying to destigmatize racism. I'm trying to not necessarily racism, but the corrective space of racism, where people don't really even realize that that's what's happening.
Right.
As a white woman in South Africa, in a this is my term and no one seems to be catching on to it, in a post-apartheid liptic space.
Say it again, no.
Post-apartheid liptic, like post-apocalyptic, but no, everyone's like, yeah, it's a bit complicated. Anyway, but yeah, so in this post-apartheid liptic space, we are in the desert of our spiritual lives. We've been crushed as a people, emotionally, spiritually. People have grown up in fatherless homes, in motherless and fatherless homes, in child-led homes. Legacies of people hating one another, legacies of people hating themselves. And coming up as a comedian in that space, trying to highlight the ridiculousness of our thinking by showing parody, showing satire, showing, okay, this is how you're thinking, this is how ridiculous your thinking is. It's fucking crazy. Like, why? Do you realize how mad your behavior is right now? Get it together, people. So, and I get a lot of flack for it because a lot of people don't know that what I'm doing is satirical. They're like, oh, you trash. I'm like, okay, why don't you just read like 3 tweets down and see where the framing comes from?
Right.
I also had to learn how to frame information because, I mean, I've always been coming from this space, but not everybody knows that I'm coming from this space. So they might jump into the conversation like, down the road, and I'm saying some ignorant shit, or what might seem like ignorant shit, but what it is an example of what ignorant shit is, and you should not perpetuate that kind of behavior. It's highlighting the ignorance, and that for me is my revolution.
Let me just add, and I know you ain't got a lot of time, so I'm just caught up in how happy I am for you and everything. But so Nick Wilson created My Child. He's made the Azanian All-Stars now. We brought in Basket Mouth and Churchill and people from Zimbabwe. And I mean, it's just, yeah, the Guinness Book of World Record comedian. How about that?
Straight up.
What do you?
Can I just floss for a second? I just got an SMS from the marketing people at Nike. Sorry.
Okay, back to the interview. Hey, sweetheart, how do you think my child is about to change the planet with all these brilliant comedians, and just what Nick has been through? How do you think he's going to change the planet?
So
hold on a second. There's some people that's trying to come in here. Open that so they go. Y'all can come in here if you want. I'm just doing an interview. Good. Shut the door.
Shut the front door.
That's your American. That's your American voice.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Let me hear your Texas. Let me hear your Texas American.
Oh, you mean like I can't understand anyone from the South. They're like,
you stupid. Talk about my child, crazy.
Okay, so you'll know from stand-up, right? You'll know from stand-up that it took me, I'm 12 years in, right? You are 20 years in. It took us a long time
21, 6 months, 3 weeks today.
Nice, honey. 21 years, I'm 12 years in. There was no formula. We had to pave a dark and lonely and crazy road on our own. And there was no one to support us, and there's no systems, and there's no forums, and there's no unions, and there's no ways to do it. You have to just sort of figure it out on your own. And that's what Nick Wilson has done. He's had to go out on his own as a pioneer of animation in an African context where we don't have animation studios, where we don't have animation studio teachers, where we do, but it's limited and it's highly expensive, where there isn't the know-how of people of how to go and sell our shows at MIPCOM, at Cannes, at all these expos. People aren't experts at that. There wasn't anyone to show him the ropes. He had to figure it out himself. He had to walk a lonely road, and with the support of a couple of really good writers, and I think what Nick's greatest strength is in putting really good teams together. Thank you very much. We
got a fresh American. Oh man.
Yeah. But that's really his strength. So putting people in touch with each other, putting the projects together, putting the projects and then government funding and networking to India, China, Africa, distributor networks, the Comedy Central, the Viacom networks, all of that kind of thing, and then incorporating our stand-up in the space, incorporating comedians in the space, and creating essentially a South African South Park, but with an edgier one. And as all professional satirists and stuff, we can only create magic. Everyone that's on this team is magical. Everyone on this team has at some point been some kind of addict of sorts, has been some kind of crazy person. I was all of them, drugs, sex, rock and roll, gambling, we're a bunch of crazy people.
We're a bunch of crazy people, misfit.
In this craziness, we have found solace in this art, and we found answers to life in this art, and there's a lot of it that comes out in this beautiful, edgy, crazy, irreverent cartoon, and I just can't wait to see it come to fruition. So whoever's watching, if somebody with $1 bajillion, give us some fucking money so that we can make this shit pop.
Girl,
okay?
I know you have to go host something real quick. Just looking at you, man, I couldn't be more proud of you, man. Just sitting, I'll be there in December to meditate with you, to read with you, to walk with you, and just really, Nina, you, wherever you're at, stay high up there. Don't let nobody make you come down here. Tell them from up top, I'm busy. That's what you tell them. How about that?
I'm busy. I love you. Nick Wilson, thank you very much. To the rest of the My Child team, guys, let's just kill this thing. If people are going to be behind us, we're doing irreverent stuff. We're breaking boundaries. We're going to piss some people off. So
Trailblazers, pioneers.
You know, that's the
that.
whole. Bye. I love you. Let me go host these nominations. Peace.
Yes, there me. Love you.
Bye.
3, 2, 1. Nick, there you go.